Yes. Yeah, and of course, please. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our first ever episode of our podcast. Actually, we've been praying for this one to, finally it's here. And by the way, my name is Kathy, and I have here. I'm Jewel Amispalia. Glad to be here today. Yes. And for you to know, actually, we're very excited to talk about life, faith, purposes, and anything under the sun, as long as it's something that is interesting and you can get meaning about it. And also, you can apply it to your life, right, Jewel? Yes, that's right. All right. So for today, we actually decided to come up with this topic because it's really interesting. And sometimes, people are thinking about it as sometimes, am I in the left or on the right? So our question today, or let's say, is it a question or really like a thought? Are you chasing in this life? Are you chasing God or you're chasing His blessings? So we will be figuring it out together today in this video. All right. Yes. Okay, so Jewel, I have here a very interesting question for you as we start the topic. We all know that in this generation, like in your age right now, you're in the what? 15. You're 15, so basically you're like in the mid, going senior or yes. Yeah. I'm turning 16 this October. Wow, that's really interesting to have a discussion with you. By the way, our gap actually is really, it's really far, but it doesn't matter because we know that learning together in life, it doesn't have to have a age gap as long as you have a same interest. Yes, I have to mention that whatever I am to come up with an answer with is an insights of a 15-year-old girl. Therefore, you all have to keep in mind that your thoughts, your opinions, whatever your maturity is, doesn't depend on your age. It depends on how well you grow in an environment. Whatever, is it right or wrong? Is it left or right? That's right. All right. So as you've mentioned, left and right. So we also have two things here in our topic. So let's start with what do you think when you say chasing his blessings? Well, to look in a childish perspective, chasing his blessings are only to see the gifts you are to receive and not the provider or not those who gave it to you. Just what you got from someone or something. Right. So in my side as well, Jewel, when you say you're just chasing the blessings, you are not after the person who gave you. Yes. You are after the present that you are having in front of you. Yes. And then you're not even thinking about, maybe you say thank you, but it's not that 100% you're really genuine about it because you're just after the blessing. Basically, it's a selfish thinking or a selfish desire that you only focus on what you have right now or what you got from something and not how you acquired it or those people around you who tried so hard to give it. Yeah, and then also in that way, since we're talking about the blessing of God that we're aiming, so it seems like there's no connection and you're distant to Him, right? So kind of you're just listing all the prayers, and then if all the prayer requests has been granted already, then boom. Yes, okay, and then you're out. Yeah. So yeah. Maybe someone can relate there watching this. You know what? Come to think of it, and how put your life in. Is it something that is important to think that more with the blessings itself? Okay, so how about let's jump to the other side of the point. How about when you say chasing God? Yes. That's the important thing here. Chasing God. Well, I view chasing God as
reading his scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as busy as life gets, you are to find time in indulging yourself with his words and
Mm-hmm.
learning his words and living, actually living it.
Yeah.
Chasing God is more than its concept of trying to put on an act for others
Mm-hmm.
just to see how good you are. No, no, it doesn't really depend on that. What it depends on is how you are to God
Mm-hmm.
and how God sees you,
That's right.
not how other people sees you, because you're not putting on a show for
Mm-hmm.
someone, for others, for other people. You're
Mm-hmm.
putting your trust, your everything, your soul and life to God.
That's right. So imagine at her young age, she was able to come up with that kind of point of view perspective. So maybe you are asking right now, while you're watching this video, you're maybe thinking why she was able to have that kind of mindset. You know what? The only secret is actually to have a connection with the Lord. It's really true. It's not something just to say it, but we actually experience it firsthand. So that's why right now, if I would answer the question, if I would choose, I would choose chasing God because again, He's the owner, He's the source of everything. So chase Him because He's the one who will provide you more than enough, like more than what you are paying for. Compared of you having the like the other part of it like chasing the blessings itself, then you're limiting him what he can do for you because you just focus on what you're just listing down instead of God can do more for you because you're just limited to have that list. Okay, I'm good with this. Yeah, I know it's another thing if you will say I'm contented already, but the connection with the one who gave you is even more important compared to just focusing on the tangible things. So how about you,
But
Joel?
to keep in mind,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't grow these insights by myself,
Mm-hmm.
by my own. No. One thing that really helped me in growing this sort of place in maturity is surrounding myself with
Mm-hmm.
those type of people, surrounding myself in such a good environment who can keep me from staying off track,
Mm-hmm.
who can keep me away from all those negative things and uh, thinking and being indulging in my overthinking and my anxieties.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, that's why as young as I am, I have to make sure that whoever I surround myself with, I will have to choose those who are good to me. Those who
Mm-hmm.
know how to say no
Mm-hmm.
and yes to things that are good and bad.
Yeah, that's really interesting, Joel, that you were able to enumerate already how you want to chase the Lord. It's because those are actually very important to identify that all the people that you want to be surrounded with are actually people who are also doing the same, like
Yes, who are
seeking Him.
also chasing
Yeah,
God.
yeah, yeah. Because if you will be with people that are also doing the other thing, then you will not be influenced and you will not also reach this far of your connection with God.
Yes, there is a Bible verse for that, but
Mm-hmm.
that mentioned to be careful because bad company corrupts good character.
Yeah.
That's why it really is important to choose who you are to surround yourself with, because
Mm-hmm.
as much as how strong your personality is, you are gonna get swayed soon enough. That's
Yeah,
why it's better to be swayed in the good side rather than the bad.
that's right. All right, so maybe I'll just share with you John chapter 6, verse 26. It says here, Jesus told the crowd, "You are looking for me not because you saw the signs I performed, but because you ate the loaves and had your fill." So they followed him for food, not for who he really was. So this is actually a very deep story in the Bible, which they were only following Jesus because they got the food with him. So hopefully we are not that kind of follower of Christ or people living here on earth that we're only after to the person because we are benefiting something to that person. So, but be genuine to people, be kind to people because that's really what is important in this generation, right, Jewel?
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, so I'll just enumerate in starting choosing to chase God. You mentioned, you have to do your devotion,
Yes.
seek Him every day,
Yes.
and of course, be honest to yourself, to God, and surrender your time to Him, your everything, as you said earlier. And then, of course, I remember with during our last Bible study, I still remember right now. You said, "Stay consistent." Remember, you said that
Yes.
that only one word, but it could make a big difference to you.
Yes.
So yeah, anything else that you would like to add?
Um, Staying consistent means it's like going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, you really won't see the results if you only go hard one day and then the other day it's like nothing ever happened. No, it's okay to take rest. Not really waste your time on just one day. Stay consistent, meaning every day you have to work out. And in talking with the Lord, you have to stay consistent every day.
That's right.
Even, you know, as many as we are, of course, we are busy, and to remind yourself that you really have to make time for the Lord, no matter how busy your life is, because your life won't ever be busy. But your life won't ever be busy if it weren't for the help of the Lord.
That's right.
You wouldn't have this life you have now if it weren't for the Lord.
That's right. And then I think that part is God is actually after our hearts. He's not after our performance. Again, people are missing the part that the real blessing is Him. The real blessing is God. So it's not the things that we're seeing here on earth. So yeah, I think for our next episode, you will learn more about life and more about these. So basically, right now, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what you know and you thought what life is all about. So, Jewel,
Yes, this is
invite our audience. Yeah, this is the start of the beginning.
yes, this is indeed the tip of the iceberg. Because
Yeah.
as we all know, it goes deep.
Yeah.
It really goes deep. So please, continue watching our podcast, and you will maybe soon after you'll be in deep with us.
Yeah, and of course, please make sure to mention your friends who really need this video, and share this, spread this love, spread this to everyone because we need Jesus, right? We need God, so we have to chase Him. And again, this is Kathy,
And this is Jewel.
and until our next episode, keep it real, keep it rooted in the name of Jesus. Yeah. See you next time. God bless.